in the United States, there are approximately 5 million people with Alzheimer's disease. If this rate continues, and with the aging of baby boomers, within the next 25 years, that will increase to 16 million people in the United States and 35 million globally.
As we have knocked down other forms of life-threatening diseases and things and survive more of them longer, this is like the cancer of the 60s and 70s. It's the one everybody's eventually going to get, probably. And I just find that if we can figure out how to minimize that risk of dementia, it'd just be wonderful for society and incredibly cost-saving.
Researchers at the University of Texas at Dallas Center for Vital Longevity are working to unlock the mystery of the aging brain. The center's goal is to explain why some people age more successfully than others. Founded by internationally distinguished scientist Dr. Denise Park, the center's 6 research teams are seeking answers to one of society's most urgent public health issues.
Ultimately, I think to prevent Alzheimer's disease or other kinds of diseases of the mind, we're going to need to figure out in middle age who's at risk and maybe have some interventions, both medical and behavioral, to stop the processes in people at high risk when they're much younger and much sooner before they get the disease.
With 6 laboratories, the center is seeking answers to which age-related changes in the brain affect our mental abilities. Does use it or lose it really apply to the aging mind? Can we identify those at most risk for Alzheimer's years before symptoms begin? Can we develop interventions that will slow or reverse cognitive decline?
Everybody's interested in Alzheimer's these days. Everybody's interested in Alzheimer's. The center is a center for the healthy aging brain. But if you are studying Alzheimer's, you have to know what the healthy brain is like, and what this group of people have done with their experiments and research have created all sorts of data, some of the best data that extant in the world today, as a matter of fact, because the data is sequential for the same people. And nowhere else in the world do we have this much data. And that is the way we're going to eventually find a cure for Alzheimer's.
The center here is highly distinctive in its concentration of the talent that is focused on this extremely important issue of cognitive aging and the relationship between how our minds age and how our brains age. I think we are an important critical mass of scientists who have this focus on this specific question. What makes us distinctive is we're all very focused on this question and interested in it, but we're looking at it from several different directions.
The center has been extremely, I was going to say fortunate, but I don't think it's fortunate. I think it's really due to their hard work and their excellence. They've been able to get mostly peer-reviewed money.
We hold one of the unique conferences in the field, which is focused on aging neuroscience and cognition. And we have national and international recognition for all of us who work here.
Dr. Karen Rodrigue and her colleagues confirm the saying, what's good for your heart is good for your brain. Research volunteers make her work possible.
We're very grateful and appreciate the Dallas community for participating in our studies, because without their participation, literally none of this would be possible. That is kind of the ground floor of this whole enterprise working, is having committed, motivated citizens in our community who are willing to give their time to help us further science, and we really appreciate it.
Dallas Lifespan Study participant Bill Venegoni became involved with the center after losing his mother-in-law to dementia.
It does truly amaze me, and I was guilty of this also, that we have this extraordinary institution here in Dallas that not that many people know about. And the research that they're doing is indeed very relevant and very vital to a health condition that most Americans, or a lot of Americans rather, are going to face at some point in their life.
Using imaging tools to understand the large-scale human brain networks and how they change over the adult lifespan is part of Dr. Goggenwig's research.
I think I'm just inspired by the dedication of the group and the kind of broad research interest base that we have here and the amount of integration and collaboration amongst the different researchers. It's pretty unique across institutions, so it's actually a great environment to study aging and to study memory and to really start to get at the heart of a lot of the issues that I think most people find pretty near and dear to them.
Located near research partner UT Southwestern, the Center for Vital Longevity has convenient access to the Advanced Imaging Research Center, strengthening collaborations between the centers.
I think that the near future will be one of the greatest periods of advance in our field in studying brain aging, because the tools have now caught up to our research questions. And so we can see into the living human brain using MRI in ways that we weren't able to do even 10 or 15 years ago. And so I think the period that's just in front of us is going to be one of tremendous advances in science now that we have better tools and technology and software to answer the questions that we've always had, but we've only been able to answer, say, after a person has passed away. Now we can actually answer those questions while people are still living and functioning.
As the field evolves, the center is poised for exponential growth and exciting scientific breakthroughs.
If we can slow the rate at which the mind ages by 5 years, we could cut the diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease virtually in half. So this question of what do you need to do to keep your brain or your mind healthy is of incredible economic importance, and it also, knowing what to do, could contribute to your quality of life in your later years so that people would live independently for their entire lifespan.